Hello and welcome to the Breaking Bitcoin Market Update. It's Tuesday, September 28, 2021. Welcome everybody, we're back. And just in time for the big market slump. Kind of a sell-off across, well, market-wide today. Bit of a slump, hitting, slamming. Well, a lot of people aren't prepared for it, but of course our audience famously attuned to all the market movements, thanks to, of course, some of our crack analysts always on the case, guys. We have, of course, Alex and Jason with us this afternoon. How are you guys doing? How's the market slump treating you?
I'm just fine.
Well, I'm just sitting here with my popcorn watching it burn.
Looking kind of ugly today, right?
Yes, it is.
I did see the QQQ down about almost 3%, and Dow Jones, yes, down
tradition.
almost 2%. Yeah, Bitcoin is down also about 2%. Ethereum's down nearly 4%. It's ugly. Is this the big breakdown? Ready to come greet us? We've been talking about this on the stream.
I don't know.
Yep, we can't, of course, say anything like this definitively, but we've been wandering around here for a while. Here we are testing the lows of this range here. Are we ready to finally break down and kind of bring that whole thesis to life? September's not over yet. Might still see some fireworks to the downside toward the end of the month. Well, we'll see. We're gonna get through all the charts today, guys. Today's show, of course, going to run a good 60 to 90 minutes, and we're going to get into the news before, of course, we get into a quick look at the bubbles. We'll shout out the audience, get into the main analysis. ETA brought to you by Alex today before we get to your requests in the latter half of the show, guys. So let's go ahead and get into it. Got a few news items today. Luckily, news is kind of light today, all things being said. So we'll breeze through the news segment and get right into the next part. Let's have a look. Here's a little piece from Bloomberg titled "Stocks Slumping Amid Senate Hearing as Yields Surge." Here is a quick update on the market this afternoon. The stock market sell-off deepened on Tuesday as bond yields surged, and traders watched the Senate hearing with Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell and Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen. Powell cited the importance of raising the debt limit to avert defaults on U.S. obligations, while Yellen warned that catastrophic results would follow a failure to address the debt ceiling situation, including a financial crisis and recession. Senator Elizabeth Warren pressed Powell on his record on financial regulation, saying that he's a dangerous man to head up the Fed, and that's why she'll oppose his renomination. All right, excuse me once again, but there you go. Things are kind of boiling over a little bit on the Senate floor today. What's up?
I said no. Things are kind of going to shit.
Yeah, they're kind of ugly over here, and even Fed Chair Jerome Powell getting kind of raked over the coals here by Warren and likely other Dems. But yeah, now you got this whole debt ceiling fiasco. I believe the Republicans, I think, blocked the last bill to raise it, or whatever was attempted to be passed at last minute. It's kind of ugly. Now, I'm assuming this is all going to be posturing. This is all gamemanship. They'll eventually come together and raise the ceiling like they always have. But in the meantime, yes, I guess get your marshmallows out. I think there's going to be some roaring fires to toast them over seemingly in the next couple days and weeks. All right. So indeed, market's slumping.
Pick up some Arnold movies.
Right. Market's slumping this afternoon. Of course, we'll review some of the majors in just a few minutes. But in the meantime, let's go ahead and get into another piece or two. Joe Rogan chiming in on NFTs. Sports commentator, comedian, popular podcaster Joe Rogan admitted that he is, quote, not interested in NFTs. To him, the concept is difficult to understand, and he called them a cryptocurrency hustle.
It's difficult to understand. That's the whole part of the show.
I know, right? It's to parse some of these.
It's like you guys don't understand shit. That's why he liked this shit.
Joe Rogan.
I don't know why people even report on this. Like, I bet he just said that in passing. He's like, I don't want anything to do with that. I don't know. I don't understand it at all. And then they probably wrote a whole article on it.
Well, I mean, let's take a look exactly what his comments were. Joe Rogan does not see how NFTs have become such a trend recently. During a recent podcast, the American podcaster rejected the option of purchasing an NFT. He went further, stating that NFTs represent an obstacle in the cryptocurrency space, stating, quote, it's a weird hustle. I think it's like cryptocurrency hustle. It doesn't make any sense to him.
Yeah, he doesn't know anything.
Rogan argued that there's no point in spending a considerable amount of money on a digital artwork when people can just download it for free. This is your typical non-NFT person boomer take. Yeah, I get it.
I don't get it yet.
He doesn't quite get it yet. Here's my problem. He says, I can have that photo and I can have it on my phone. This is not the first time when Rogan revealed his confusion on the matter a few months ago during another podcast. Another comedian, Reggie Watts, tried to explain what NFTs are and how people can interact with them. Rogan, though, said he understands even less after the discussion. On the other hand, he's not a crypto critic, of course. He revealed he is a bit of a digital asset holder. He did not disclose which tokens he's got exposure to. Are NFTs a hustle? This article asks. I'll leave the link in the description below. Indeed, a lot of people, I don't think, quite get it, much in the way that crypto still probably flies over the head of many out there. You know what I think is going to be a game changer? I think this is going to be huge. In fact, our next article kind of related to it, so I'll introduce that very briefly. Twitter's Bitcoin tipping features. This is a big win for crypto. In many ways it is. But more related to the NFTs we're just talking about, there was a big thing teased or announced by Twitter. This is going to be huge. This is going to be massive for NFTs, and eventually people like Joe Rogan to finally get it. Twitter is going to be bringing like verified status for your profile pics. So along with introducing some of these crypto functions for the tipping functionality, they are going to be bringing crypto functionality to the verification of profile pictures. So what this means right now is, what you can do with your profile pics is sign a message with your wallet stating, I own 100% this item on the blockchain. And Twitter can display a little verified tag saying this Twitter account actually owns.
This is a real CryptoPunk.
Right. This is a real punk that this guy actually owns. It belongs to this Twitter account's wallet. So having that little verification there, like this is real, this isn't just a JPEG you screenshotted and re-uploaded for yourself, an actual check mark saying you own this item on the blockchain. On Twitter, not just some other alt platform, but on Twitter, guys, this is massive.
Definitely get some hype going, especially for younger users, man. NFTs are going to explode.
It's the whole purpose of the NFT. It's to flaunt. It's to show off your wealth, to show your status. It is a status. It is a flaunt type thing, and I think people at Joe Rogan will get it, right? When they see, oh, what's this? Oh, this dude not only has this high-end profile pic NFT, he's also verified. Twitter right here says, hey, it's checkmarked. How about that? And away the average person goes. They know. They'll
can't wait for your check mark, can you?
I can't wait. I think it's going to be huge for NFTs in general. This is of course one of the big major use cases. But with that said, guys, enough about NFTs. Let's go ahead and get into another story or two. BlackRock, yes, everybody's favorite mega maniacal super corporation. BlackRock apparently was long on Bitcoin futures in August. Let's take a look here. I mean, I'm not going to give this much weight. This could just be one position of many for or against Bitcoin. But BlackRock, the largest asset manager in the world, held 10 million in CME Bitcoin futures in August, according to recent filing with the U.S. SEC. Futures contracts, blah, 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 blah. All right, not too much to really go into here, especially for a company like this that's worth, what, trillions in assets under management.
A little bit of that to manage. I'll do better.
$10 million CME position. Lame. All right, ignore the story. Let's continue. U.Today. Texas Senator Ted Cruz opposes Biden's anti-crypto OCC pick. Man, it wasn't long ago when we were just talking. We were just celebrating the last OCC pick by the Trump White House. Brian Brooks, who I think was a former Coinbase chief legal officer. Well, now we got the Biden admin and a bit of a shuffle over at the Office of the Comptroller of the Currency. And here's Texas Senator Ted Cruz sounding off on the new pick. He recently emerged as an ally of the cryptocurrency industry and is now opposing the nomination of Saul Ormova, a law professor at Cornell who was reportedly picked by President Joe Biden to spearhead the Office of the Comptroller of the Currency. In a scathing tweet, Cruz asserts that Omarova is willing to regulate the cryptocurrency industry into oblivion. Quote, crypto faces future defining government regulations. This nomination needs to be stopped, end quote. The prospective top banking regulator was skeptical of the idea that crypto democratizes finance, claiming that the industry's rise is a sign of dysfunctional financial system. In the Trump admin, of course, the OCC was helmed by crypto-friendly Brian Brooks, who I just mentioned a little earlier. He had a brief stint, of course, as at Binance.us. I think he was also over at Coinbase. Omarova is primarily known as a staunch opponent of big banks, and she will be expected to oversee them. In one of her most recent tweets, she particularly targeted J.P. Morgan. Ironically, the cryptocurrency lobby will be fighting on the same side as big banks to stop Omarova's nomination. The fate of the controversial nomination depends on whether or not the moderate Democrats are going to side with her sweeping regulatory agenda. Yeah, times are changing, and it's almost like the industry has to prepare itself for some challenges up ahead. We'll see how all this shakes out. Let's get into maybe one more item here from Trust Nodes. Ethereum 2.0 upgrade is set. Ethereum 2.0 is to upgrade for the first time within weeks. Of course, guys, this is the very early version of the 2.0 contract that's live. So it's the first update in quite a while according to new release. Let's see. He Dubbed Altair, this new first upgrade of the proof-of-stake beacon chain with the mainnet upgrade planned for October 27, 2021, or about 1 month from now. All right, very interesting. So we got some developments on the Ethereum 2.0 front over the next month. The Altair upgrade gives engineering teams something concrete to dig into. The Ethereum Foundation said back in March before adding Altair is an upgrade to the beacon chain that brings light client support, minor patches to incentives per validator, inactivity leak accounting, increase in slashing severity, and cleanups to validator rewards, accounting for simplified state management. And in addition to these various features, Altair also represents a warm-up upgrade for the beacon chain and beacon chain clients. Ethereum's proof-of-stake system has run quite smoothly since Genesis, but before performing the high-stakes merge, client teams want to go through the process of a live upgrade to further test and ready their code bases for the live system. All right, very cool. So this is yet another, this is a good way of describing, I think, much of the development we're seeing is these warm-up upgrades. I think London Fork, and we were talking about this yesterday, along with the burn, a lot of this to me is the burning of the gas fees is a warm-up upgrade in many ways to shaping everything up and expectations toward 2.0. So minor news here, but indeed rolling out some upgrade to the 2.0 contract. There you have it. That's pretty much all I have for the news today, guys. Not a lot going on today, except of course, I'm sure a lot of people at the edge of your seat wondering what the hell is happening in the markets next, especially in the traditionals.
There's a lot of hopium that goes back up right now.
I bet it is, and man, I hate to think of it, but it's true. It's really.
This is why we look at it every day, because we're on top of it when it started getting weak.
Sorry, Alex, what were you saying?
Maybe it's a sell the news on Ethereum situation?
Yeah.
Well, this is minor news, but you know, should have clearly sold days ago. Should have sold in that pump we had just a few days ago. But alas, here we are. Let's go ahead and get into the next segment. We got a quick look at the bubbles next. What's going on in the alt space today, man? Even bloodier than when I first checked on it this afternoon. To see a red, guys. Many of your favorite alts are down single to slightly over single digits. Decred down a little over 10%. Ren a little over 10% as well. Harmony down about 11%. Curve and a few others. Perp. Luna down about 15%. So there are some single and double digit losers. Is there anything bucking the trend lately? DYDX. I've been hearing a lot about DYDX lately. Go figure, it's up a few points. Uni is up a few points. XEC, eCash, whatever that is up 11%. Same with BCH, ABC. Otherwise, it's red, bloody out here. And in the wider markets, which we'll get into just a moment. Let's go into the next segment, guys. There's not a lot to talk about in the bubbles. We have, of course, our audience already here. Let me go scroll up and see who is first in the chat this afternoon. Big shout outs to Daniel. Hi guys, first in the chat to our boy Daniel. Prophet Bear, what's up y'all? Did you see Jerome Powell and Janet yelling at Congress? What a hearing. Well, no, I just read the brief blurb on it, but sounds like indeed fireworks were going off.
She's probably going at him.
Prophet Bear, how low can we go? Don't even ask that question, Prophet Bear. I don't think you want to hear the answer. Franklin MC, good morning. Hang on, October might be a little stormy. No kidding. Bricks, hey, Bricks comes back to the show. Welcome back, Bricks. Hey, everyone. Shoutouts to our boy Bricks. Crypto Jenny is with us on DLive. Big shout outs to Crypto Jenny. Prophet Bear, I'm about to stop paying taxes because I simply just can't trust fiscal responsibility of my government. My kids can run better monetary policy, and they're second graders. I mean, I
work, my friend.
I mean,
What's that?
Yeah, I don't think you get to withdraw it just because you don't like how it's being spent.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, I understand you might have some objections, but I'm afraid it's not voluntary, my man. Do pay your taxes, otherwise your kids are going to have bigger problems than the government monetary policy alone. Let's have a look. Alex 1233 on DLive. Howdy, sports fans. Well, howdy, sports fans to you, Alex 1233. Polly B is with us today as well. Big shout outs to Polly B. Any word? F. Arnold, he thinks I have no rights. Which Arnold? He thinks
Arnold Schwarzenegger?
Arnold Schwartz? Any word?
I don't know. I don't think that's...
F. Arnold, he thinks I have no rights. I think he might be talking about the former California governor and famous Terminator robot.
Governor? Get to
Yes.
the dollar. What are you doing?
Get out.
Out of here.
Jim 14 UK, yes, Jamook. Jamook is in
the
the
house.
house. Jamook indeed has made his triumphant return. Shout outs to Jamook. Alex Soul 33 already mentioned. Let's have a look. Chico Blanco Verano once again had to go to your channel page to see that you had your live stream going. You don't say. Are we really shadow banned today, Chico? Let me go take a look at my shadow ban status. Are we shadow banned today? At the moment, I would have to say yes, we're shadow banned today. Can I explain why? Nope, don't think so. Not sure I can explain it, guys. It's just the way the tide, the YouTube tide can turn, either against you or with you, given the day of week. All right, so that is done. Let's keep going. Getting shadow banned hard, says Jason. Indeed. Twitter profile pics, first layer of the metaverse. Yes, exactly. Twitter profile pics, indeed. Let's have a look. A couple more comments, and let's see here. Hang around for some. For some lemons, indeed. Alex, wink, wink. Jag077 on DLive. Thought about your buyback into ADA. What would be a good point to jump back in? Well, I don't think anybody.
Hey, I just shorted ADA yesterday, so.
Yeah, I don't know about jumping back in.
Make is like noticeably worse than it was before on the old computer. Is that true, guys?
What's that?
Is it true that the microphone is like noticeably worse than it was?
Oh,
on
yeah.
the old...
Yes, undoubtedly.
Oh.
If you still have your headset, that might work better.
Yeah, it has like a phone call quality. It almost sounds like you're calling in.
I think the
It's amazing that
is still back in Palm Beach, but I mean, I certainly afford a new one. I'll look into it. It was one thing when it was just a little spotty sometimes with the old laptop, but if it's like real bad all the time with the new one, I'll have to switch
it's entirely workable. You're coming in pretty clear and all. It just the quality overall sounds like you're calling in through a phone. Has like this kind of very, I don't know, flat sound. Sounds like you're talking again through a phone line rather than through internet communication. But nonetheless, you're coming in clear, so don't worry too much about that. Everybody can hear you, but indeed, the mic is not what it was. Let's see here. What a great day for shorts, says David Rice. Well, seems like it. Jamook. I already mentioned. Hopefully, Jack will give you a shout out that you require. Well, I'm pretty sure I gave him the appropriate Jamook that was necessary for his arrival. Let's see here. Promethean blessings. Indeed. I shorted Cardano yesterday, says Jason. Dr. Faruqan on DLive. Shoutouts to you. Good afternoon. With the SXP request. Hang tight. We'll get to that in just a minute. We're talking about picking up DERO when it drops to about $10. Let's see here. F. Arnold movie, says any word. No. I mean, we might have differences of political opinion, but Arnold is still, to me, one of the greatest, the all-time greatest. Very warm place in my heart. What can I say?
Predator was amazing.
I grew up on Arnold movies. To me, that was my bag. He was my favorite.
I brought up Jingle All the Way.
Maybe not Jingle All the Way, but let's have a look. Junior, maybe. Let's have a look. Jingle All the Way. He did bring it up. Dave Rice says, not shadow banned on my end. Yes, this could be regional. Dave Rice, whatever territory you're in. Well, YouTube decided it's okay to subject you to us. And Mr. Ether is with us as well. Big shout out to you. Toes in the Sand on DLive and Jose Alves for the last comment of the shout outs. All right. Thank you to everybody being here. But it's time to get into the next segment. It's what you're all here for, and we're doing absolutely great on time. It's not even 1:30 yet. Today's show might go swimmingly, and might even get the DLive chest open, say, 2 o'clock rather than quarter after, just judging by the pace at which we're already moving. All right. Alex, if you don't mind going live, we're going to connect over to your screen in just a moment. And as for the rest of yous, drop those requests in the chat below.
The rest to use.
Get those requests in, guys. All right, Alex is live. I'm hopping over to that scene now. All right, looking at the BTC USD daily chart on BitMEX. So I think we're all synced up, looking good. All right, Alex, you have the floor. I'm going to go collect those requests.
Okay. So at this time, things are looking a little rough on the markets. At the end of today, we'll have a continuation short available on Bitcoin. We would most likely be targeting 37, 35K area. That is that's the order block we previously had marked out. I still kind of like that. As you guys know, this is right around where the local market point of control is. As you guys know, we've been kind of targeting that area since, honestly, since back in July. We were discussing up to 50 and then at least back down to 35. And then we'll see what happens there. Things look really rough on the markets. Nothing has really changed since yesterday in that regard, although I guess things look markedly worse. We've slowly carved our way through the low volume node here, in between 40,000 and 45,000. Once we get to the other side of 40K, I expect the market to move quite rapidly to the downside.
Same.
We'll pass through this area very rapidly, I think, this high volume node.
Yeah, I think we'll just rip all the people in positions out. It'll be like a domino effect.
Mm-hmm. So that's mainly all the news that's fit to print here on Bitcoin. As you can see, we had tried to flip this area to support here, but it doesn't hold. We fall below it, flips back to resistance, push up into it, rejected. Most likely going to continue to head down in this spot. A similar story here for Ethereum, although I can't help but think that, we actually didn't have another retest of this downtrend yet. So we could still do some sideways trading before we move down. We don't necessarily need to move down right in this spot, but it looks particularly bad. This is also a continuation short signal here on Ethereum at the end of today. It's because, of course, we're below our daily baseline. Our oscillator is turning over. That's really all we need for continuation short in this spot. Although WADA certainly likes the momentum, even though we don't have enough volatility. So I'm expecting when we look at the crypto markets to be more of the same from yesterday. Yep, Bitcoin dominance continues rising off of this area of support that we've seen around 40% Bitcoin, 60% alts. We expect more upside here. Yep. Uniswap perp looks really rough.
Yes, it does.
Man, look at this. Look at this bearish divergence.
Pretty crazy.
Yeah. So we start marching up here, but our oscillator is just screaming, no, 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 no. There's no momentum here. You don't want to be longing this spot. Perp. Continuation short signal yesterday, actually. D5 perp, continuation short signal at the end of today. Here you see we have tried to flip our local point of control from resistance into support. We failed to do so. We begin to break down. Continuation short signal here. I expect continued downside. Privacy perp. Man, that just already looks really bad. I suppose we're almost at a spot where we would look for a reversal. Sellers look like they could be exhausting themselves a little bit, but we're not actually there yet. So I continue downside. Exchange perp. This continuation short signal is actually a few days old. I think we got it over here. You would be in profit had you taken it. I would say we've got significant support underneath us right here. If we breach below this, I expect very swift movement down towards the bottom of this trading range. Again, we're looking at continued downside. Ship perp, continuation short signal yesterday. If we close below 52.50, 53 here, then that'll be a break below this area of support, in which case, continued downside here on ship perp. I hope you guys are getting a sense here of a pattern, which is that we most likely have continued downside for the next couple days. As all perp looking particularly bad. This looks like a great short here. We did get the continuation short signal yesterday, but might be worth getting into today, depending on how far we fall today. All right, so everything looks like just absolute AIDS right now. So the dollar must be doing real well. Let's take a look.
Whistling Dixie.
Hello.
Hello, lady.
Yep. This looks like a rather convincing continuation long signal, break above resistance. It does seem that we're going to get the final follow through here, at least on Jason's. Jason pointed out that this was most likely an ascending broadening wedge pattern, whereas I was thinking, it could, I would say like it was likely to happen. I was saying what we want to happen is to get this inverted head and shoulders-y thing. Instead, what we got was this ascending broadening wedge, which is most likely going to cause us to have a breakout here. If you look at this on the weekly,
so strong.
Yeah, so strong looking. Look at this weekly continuation signal here. This is actually an incredibly strong chart.
That's bad for us, folks.
Yep. Let's get rid of this, TA. I want to focus in on the chart more. Well, I'll leave Jason's in. Let's leave that one in. But we already know mine is invalidated, so we can leave that out now. We're really only expecting Jason's to complete at this point.
Yeah. Be a strange reversal.
Next resistance level should be $94.50 units, whatever you want to call them. Yeah, okay. Support, resistance, resistance, support, resistance. This looks like a significant enough level. Yeah, I like that. This is the next 2-beat resistance support level. And that will actually align quite nicely with the top of this ascending broadening wedge. So we could get nice confluence with these two different ways of looking at the chart. All right, so let's think about if you're long the dollar or short the market, however you want to look at it. Well, consider looking to maybe take profits once we start getting in this area, depending on what the price action is like. It's just tentative plans for now. All right, dollar doing well. Traditional markets gotta look like shit.
Oh, it's not a good one.
Oh Lord.
Oh Lord.
Well, I don't know who could have foreseen this, but we appear to be rejecting from this area. This is it looks really rough, guys. I do believe that this is about to be proven out to be a very classic Wyckoffean distribution pattern played out on the Dow Jones live in front of your eyes. We've been watching it for 3 months now. You gotta believe in Wyckoffean distribution patterns at this point, right?
There's something to it.
Yeah. Anyway, you guys can take it as you will, but let's go to some higher time frames, and I think you'll see things look very rough here. We could still trade sideways a little bit more. We don't necessarily need to go to hell right away here. but I imagine the market is kind of hurting from this one.
Yeah. I bet there's some people panicking right now because after the buyback, they felt a little bit better. Now it's right back to where they started. Like, I just need to get out now.
Beautiful baseline bounce short here.
Yep.
NASDAQ, even worse.
Yep. NASDAQ looks the worst out of all three.
Hey guys, see, we got a break of the uptrend. And even though our entry is not the most ideal, once we have this gap down, and this gap down below our very critical support, obvious short is obvious, right? You know, this is not rocket surgery.
It's not rocket surgery. Race car surgery.
Quickly looking awfully rough here. All right, for now, I will say we can potentially turn bullish again if we ever cross back over this area of support and resistance. This is now the new area to beat. See, we approach it, push for 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks, and finally we burst above it, we get slapped right back down. Push back below it, and then let's go on the daily time frame. Try and get back above the level. Slapped again. This is our new area of support resistance right here. It's resistance, but yeah, we could turn it into support if we ended up being bullish. But this is what we're eyeing right now. If we cross back above here, maybe we'll look to long. You know, maybe they pass the debt ceiling stuff really fast without the markets needing to totally crash to push the politicians into doing their job, which I said like a month and a half ago. So here we are at the debt ceiling. The market's been consolidating at a top for 3 months. And then no debt ceiling deal? Markets don't like that. It's just the push we need to the downside. Forget Evergrande. We've got a debt ceiling to worry about. S&P 500. Obvious short is obvious, guys. Break of the long-term weekly linear trend here on the S&P 500. I mean, come on. Trend holds for a year and a half. We break it. You're going to tell me that there's not going to be some significant downside ahead of us in this spot?
Right.
Well, you're wrong. We could trade some more sideways, some more up here. We don't have to go to hell this week, although, like I said, the charts do look really bad. But we're going down here. There's just no question. This could be... You know, my hope is that it's a really rough few weeks, and then we're good, and not a rough, like, fall and winter. Like, I would hate... we could fall through October here, maybe find a bottom in November. Several weeks. 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. We go up. 4 weeks. Oh, everybody's so excited. We're going up again. Week 5. Slap in the face. Down again. Oh, no. Oh, no. 6, 7.
Yeah, I'm hoping for a quick cut through resistances, but we'll likely just get that slow, painful down step. But with that, yeah, I mean, I could see it, the initial sell-off being really ugly, man, with quite a buyback.
Right.
And then we get another dump down there.
All right, so let's see what commodities are doing. I don't even want to hazard a guess. It must be wild today. Holy shit. I think gold is going to break down here. Let's tighten up our let's tighten up our trend just a little bit here. What if this is a weekly trend, or what if this is a linear trend? Let's try this.
I mean, that makes it even worse.
Yeah, that's not great looking. WADA doesn't like this. Time transformation doesn't like this. We're underneath the weekly baseline. We're breaking a linear trend on the weekly. What's the monthly look like here? Month ends in a couple days, guys.
Yep.
Monthly continuation short signal. Nah, not great. This is an interesting order block right here, 1400. Silver, what are you doing?
Gotta be bad.
It's not that bad. It's just hanging out near the low still. To me, we got to break back above $23 before I'm interested in this at all.
Yep.
Palladium, even more downside. What was I thinking? Cautioning to take profits here. So foolish. We all know the palladium is just going straight down, and we've known it since July. Platinum. I guess it did reject from this resistance level again. More downside. Maybe we'll look to, I don't know. We could still look to be a buy around 940.
Yeah, you could come back down, test the top side of that trend, and then
I guess, I don't have really strong feelings about it. I would just let it go for now. We don't need to try and catch bottoms on that. Brent crude. Truth is, man, I don't know with Brent crude. I really thought we were going to break down here, and here we are making new highs. We'll see. For right now, I would suggest probably more upside. Corn, did our breakout get faded here? Maybe.
Little bit so far.
Well, if we break back down below this area, we'll exit our theoretical long and, just take it on the chin. Natural gas came pretty close to our take profit here, but it didn't really hit it. But we are getting an exit signal from time transformation on a rather strong bearish divergence. So, I mean, if you're still long natural gas, it's probably not a bad place to look to take some profits. Soybeans, we're waiting for the break to take a long, and if we don't get it, we'll look to short, falling below roughly $12.85. Wheat showing weakness. Here we go, world markets. Who could have foreseen this? Oh my goodness. I'll tell you, it's really gratifying to be a bear when the market turns over. Yeah, Australia looks pretty rough here. I wouldn't be getting into a new short or long. I just wouldn't do anything with it if you're staring at this chart for now. China, probably more upside here. We discussed this yesterday. Very nice reaction off of this area of support resistance. Yep. Adios, France. It's just kind of obvious, guys. We see this area of resistance, we break above it, and then we fall back below it. And once we're unable to make it over that area of resistance and we begin to turn over again, that's when sellers start to really step in these spots. And that's what makes these obvious low risk, high reward short places. Singapore, we got pushed out of this yesterday, and it looks like it might end up completing. We're already hypothetically short enough things, so we don't really need to be looking at Singapore that way. But most likely, the Singapore's going down with everything else. Hong Kong, hanging out near the lows. I wouldn't do anything with it. The UK, well, this is probably like double short in time. It wouldn't be a bad place to add to a short right here. It's kind of close to entry. And, you know, if we were over this area, you'd want to be out. So it's also low risk in its own way to add to this spot. India finally breaking this uptrend. It's just a little too soon to say. India has been really tricksy. I wouldn't want to get into a short on India just yet, even though it would make sense considering all the rest of the world markets, right? If you told me that this was the top on India, I would totally believe you. But, you know, our systems aren't firing right. Like, it's just turning over. It's not the right timing on India. It's not as obvious as these other ones that we've been looking at. Japan, long from this area, took profits in this area. Just an easy range trade. Bottom of the range, top of the range. Did not take a lot of brain power to do this one, guys. We were watching this area of support. Once we broke below it, we thought, maybe it's time to short. But then we went back above it, and then we thought, no, it's time to be long. And then it does the thing. What can I say? It's a gift.
Yeah, that was yesterday, right?
Yeah. It's totally obvious. It was totally obvious yesterday, guys, right? You were all here. It's like, well, everything's turning over. Netherlands has finally produced some sort of continuation short signal here. Let's take the short. It's short in time.
It's short. I got to make a video about that.
Yeah. You could even fire a third set of missiles here. It would probably be a profitable decision to do so.
Now you're getting crazy.
Yeah, I'm not gonna. I will not encourage degen behavior, but those degens who followed that would make a lot of money. Interestingly enough, bond markets also off a cliff today. It's kind of turning into a big wick. This is interesting. Maybe bonds like descend with the market here, but then we actually get bought up in this spot. I don't really understand it. I would have thought bonds would move up here with stocks moving down, but that's not really how the market's behaving.
Right.
Well, it's nice knowing you, Wall Street 30. Guys, that's the world markets. The world markets look terrible right now. Crypto looks really bad right now. If you haven't taken profits on anything, guys, and pay yourself a little bit here. Hey, maybe I'm wrong. It has certainly happened numerous times. Like, all joking aside, I get it right like maybe 65, 70% of the time. You guys watch the show. I'm especially good with tops. With bottoms, trends, this could be a little iffy. Markets look real bad right now, and I just don't see any reason to expect a big reversal to the upside.
Same. Been expecting it for a while now. Glad to see that real solid evidence. I mean, we've been getting evidence of it, of course, but this looks like it's getting to that make or break situation to where I really don't see other wicks to the upside anymore. we pretty much filled in all of those gaps that I thought we need to fill to press lower, and we're starting to do it now.
Okay, well, we could look at chart requests.
I'm certainly down for that, guys. We're about 10 minutes to go for the top of the hour. Gonna get the DLive chest ready for you in a couple of minutes as well. Let's get into it. Not too many requests to deal with today. Hence, I bring up the DLive chest coming up in a few minutes. So let's go ahead and get into it. I am going to go.
Maybe look at Forex a little later. We haven't done that in a while, and most likely, if all the world markets are turning over, there could be some new trends starting in Forex.
Good point.
Typically, the dollar rising, for instance, but it's overall.
All right. Well, that being the case, let's go ahead and get into the first request of the day. It comes from Dr. Farrakhan over on DLive. He wants to take a look over at SXP.
Just say no. Continuation short signal as of yesterday. Don't do anything, my friend.
Yep.
Where's our downtrend? Give me the line. Can't do TA without lines. What do you think this is? Yep. If we can break over this downtrend, long it, man. We'll probably also end up breaking over the daily baseline. I wouldn't be surprised if we pop up, trade sideways a little bit, move up. There's another order block up here, maybe. But for right now, there's no reason to be longing the spot. Zero. Don't do it. What's next?
All right. Well, there's your look at SXP, Dr. Farrakhan. Let's get into the next request. We have Anywhere talking about DERO and waiting for it to hit $10 for him to buy it up. Let's give DERO a very brief check-in.
Well, you're going to be waiting for a while there. Oh, that's right. You're buying at $10. I thought our buy zone was $2.
Yeah, I told you guys last week that I really didn't think that DERO long was going to play out, and it got faded immediately.
Look at a 3-day. We just got... Let's confirm. We just got a bearish divergence early exit signal on yesterday's close for the 3-day. So I would... I would definitely be looking for a very strong pullback on DERO here, like we are for the rest of the markets. But DERO for its own reasons, just for the way the chart looks. This chart looks a little different from all the other ones, but it's still bearish. What's next?
Kind of like India.
Right. Shoutouts to Anyword. Good luck on scooping up some more DERO at $10. Let's get into the next request. It's our boy Van City over on Twitch. Morning, gents. Can we look at Hex, please, on the daily and the weekly? All right, let's check in with Hex.
I was looking at Hex yesterday. I feel like I lack all credibility when I say this, but Hex looks like it's going to pull back.
Yeah, I finally last week I said that it looks like it's likely to pull back here. It's going too sideways.
Yeah.
But
so if you look at this as resistance, weekly, starting to look like a reversal. Here, let's pull out the Fisher transform. There's divergence. Damn. Time transformation gave us the exit signal last week, even just with this one red candle. It's like, nah, get out.
Nope, don't like it.
We got a strong weekly bearish divergence on Fisher transform here. I would suggest to you that I know I thought we were topped out at 10 cents, and I was wrong, but we look pretty topped out here. And with the way the rest of the markets look, maybe it would make sense that even if you think Hex is just the bee's knees, just the best thing since sliced bread, which you know I don't. But even if it was, maybe this would be a time to take profits considering the rest of the markets. I don't know. What's next?
All right. Well, there was your look at Hex. Hopefully that covered a bit of that. Big shout outs to Van City. All right. Let's leave it at that. Let's continue to the next request. Here's a 4-pack for Mike Maker. This should buy us a little time. I'm going to go stock the DLive chest in just a moment. ALGO, MATIC, XRP, and BitTorrent token. Let's begin with ALGO.
This was the support resistance level that we had to hold. We're not holding it, and we're getting a continuation short signal. I would suggest that as we break back into this trading range, this is all back on the table. We're likely to sweep back down towards $1 on ALGO. I would be looking to short here. What's next?
All right, next one of Mike Maker's request is MATIC.
Continuation short signal. Maybe yesterday, but definitely today we're getting it. I would look for continued downside. Probably at least towards 75 cents. But if 75 cents doesn't hold, we're looking for 50 cents. And we've been looking for this one for a while. We charted this area all the way back in June. As if this area didn't hold, this was the area we wanted. This area did hold as a buy zone, beautifully so. But it may not a second time. What's next?
XRP.
Continuation short signal, continued downside. So you can see this is an area of, this is sort of the trading range, right? You can see resistance here, some support here, resistance, 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 support, support, support. We break under it, we find resistance again, and then we get a continuation short signal in the exact spot where we're facing resistance, right? It's a classic sign of confluence here that we should expect continued downside. Very nice order block around 75 cents. Potentially we could look for support there, but we're not there yet. So more downside. What's next?
All right, shout outs to Mike Maker. One more request from him, and it's going to be BitTorrent token.
Blah, blah, blah. Looks like everything else continued downside. What's next?
All right, DLivians, I'm going to go open up that DLive chest in about 30 seconds. You've been warned probably by the time you hear the statement. Should be getting that prompt on your screen. Let's introduce the next request, and then I'll go open that chest. We have Chico on YouTube requesting AXS for a short. All right, let's short Axie. What do you think?
Well, you guys know I've been saying that we should... Whoa. That's actually more upside than I had imagined here. Oh, and it's a wick here today, too. Oh, yeah. You guys, I've been saying we should short Axie since we were around $80. I like the short here. I think we should be shorting into this entire area ever since we broke this parabolic uptrend. So this is a logarithmic uptrend. So this is actually this is curved upwards on a linear. So our parabolic trend breaks in this area. Short the shit out of Axie as if you can above like $70 and stuff. I would be looking towards $30. I kind of like this order block. And then if not $30, then a nice 80% pullback brings you back towards the bottom of this trading range down here. But yeah, if you're looking to pull a trigger on a short, today looks decent. I mean, I don't like that we're in the trade zone, the no trade zone here of our calendar channel. But I could see a good argument for wanting to get into this spot. So I mean, I wouldn't blame you for taking the short. What's next?
All right, let's get into one of the next requests. Shout out to the lemon giveaway winners today.
I missed it.
Any word coming in first place. David Rice, Rhino TD, Jag077, and Jonah Love the Show. All today's lemon recipients. All right, that is
just taking us for all we got.
Yeah, well, they've been doing that for the last couple months, and that's why we're hitting our own little debt ceiling here at the CCD Live Treasury.
Ceiling.
Let's go and let me go put the next request on the screen. I'm gonna add another one that just arrived in the request line as well. But in the meantime, let's look at Brix's request. He wants to look at KMOON. KMOON. What is it? Korean moon?
No, it's KusaMoon. Oh, okay. There's only one place to do that.
Chardex.
So this is like the only place where you can chart Moon River shitcoins right now. Moon River is the Ethereum compatible chain on the Kusama network. So this is where you can find like a whole lot of shitcoins that are rather new. So 1 second here. I'm just gonna type this in here. All right, this is the 1 minute. This is not going to be very helpful to us.
Ooh.
Looks like downside here for Kusama. Where are we looking? Yeah, it doesn't look very good. Sorry, buddy.
All right.
What's next?
Big shout outs to Brix for that one. Excuse me.
Always bringing in the obscure.
Indeed. Brix, of course, with the obscure tokens from all corners of the crypto universe. But so let's go ahead and get into the next request. Maybe read a comment or two. B-Flow asks, is Wednesday's mentorship day book the Trading in the Zone?
Yes, it is.
All right. Trading in the Zone, indeed, is tomorrow's book.
There's a copy of it in the Discord, right?
What's that?
I do believe there's a copy of the book in the Discord, right?
I should pop that in there. But, I mean, you guys can all download it yourself off Library Genesis. But yes, I will do the work of downloading it off of Library Genesis and popping it into our Discord for all of you.
Very generous. Thank you, sir. All right. Let's continue. What else do I have to mention here? We have, yes, Any Word Ask is sold on there. Sold. Why would sold be on the Kusama dex? I don't think so. Is it? Let's see here. I see mover request. All right. Let's go ahead and get into the next request. And this is one of the last of the day, guys. Let's see who remains on today's board. We have Linky for user YY in the YouTube chat. Give Link a look.
Continuation short signal looks like shit. Continue downside. What's next?
Wow, everything is looking about the same.
Okay.
What do we have left here? We have Brix, Mover, MOVR. All right. This could be the last request of the day, guys.
Okay. Oof.
Take some profit.
Yeah. Let's zoom in a little here.
Do you have a break of trend and it's coming back down to test that trend right at the point of the control, but ooh, or do we? Not quite.
Does that make sense? I just think it makes more sense to see Moon River pull back towards $125, back towards this area still here. We may bounce towards 400 again. But with the way the rest of the markets are looking, you look at the weekly here, you would see more downside. What's next?
All right. Well, that was I think the last request I have logged. Bricks, Bricks, are these requests? What do you mean by RMRK listing ? Bricks, is that a request?
Well, there's nothing to discuss about it. A new token listed today, RMRK. We can't do TA on it, as it's a few hours old.
All right. Any words? Short everything. It sounds like, except the Dixie, says Jason. Yeah. Indeed, that's exactly what it sounds like today, guys.
Let's look at the Forex real quick, and then we'll sign off.
Let's do it, guys. We'll do a little Forex jaunt here, and then we will indeed sign off. Let's do it.
Let's look for big trend changes on the market. So we're only going to look at the weekly here, maybe the monthly even. Maybe we should only look at the monthly. Monthly ends soon. We haven't been looking at Forex very much here. Likely continued downside here. We seem to have rejected from monthly resistance here. Nothing really convincing here. Nothing super obvious. Beautiful to range trade.
Yeah.
Usually, this is a good area to be a buyer. It's a good area to be a seller. Something to consider. Could move all the way back up towards 0.75 here. This seems to be displaying a swing failure pattern. And then kind of giving us this higher low here. See anything obvious here? This was potentially a trend break here. That's not a break. We come back down and retest this area. Well, this is an interesting looking chart. Euro versus the British pound. Seems to be some reaccumulation here at a low. Very strong weekly candle. This looks like a phenomenal trade. Oh, and it's just today we're getting this up off of the lows here.
That's a big reaction, yeah.
I like this trade. I like this long from this spot. I would just set my stop on the other side of this weekly low right here and see what you can do with it. I'll put this trade on right now.
Putting the live back in live trading.
Yeah, why not? I can probably get a better entry a little later on. We'll probably pull back a little bit towards this area of. I'll put in a limit order a little bit closer to that area. I won't just mark it in right now. I don't want to set a bad example for you guys. So we'll put in a little bit more thought into this. Okay. Roughly, we're looking for
89.
Yeah, around
86.
Yeah, around 86 something. Yeah, let's do a little over 86. Have our stop loss. Actually, I doubt we'll head back in this area at all. So 84657. All right, 5%. It's a weekly trade. It's still a little much. I only want to really do 4.5% risk here. So that would give me 5 pips. Okay, so that puts me at about 4.5% risk here. This area. All right, we'll see what happens with this. Maybe I should just mark it in. I would hate to lose this. I will probably pull back just a little bit here.
I think you'll get that. I think you'll get that volatility. I think you will.
Yeah. Okay, so that's a really great looking weekly trade here on Forex right now. And what a great area to be a buyer to near the lows. Oh, it's just a great trade. I mean, maybe it won't be a profitable trade, but it's a good setup. So maybe we should be looking for strength on the euro across the board here. It's not super convincing. Oof. Kind of off a cliff here, euro versus USD. Maybe the British pound is just doing that bad. British pound versus the Canadian dollar. Yeah, this is a good place to be short the British pound versus the Canadian dollars. See, look at that. Resistance, 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 resistance. This is resistance has lasted for 5 years now. And we reject again here. I think we can safely ugly. I think we can safely say that this is probably a good shorting opportunity here. British pound at a high. Yeah, this looks like a good shorting opportunity. This looks like a good shorting opportunity on the British pound versus the yen. British pound versus New Zealand dollar. I would just say there's a lot of opportunity cost maybe if you short this spot. We've done a lot of sideways trading here, but if I had to be long or short this spot, I'd rather be short. British pound versus US dollar. Off a cliff here. You really wanted to be in this last week. This gotten started without you here today.
My computer fan's going nuts.
Yeah. New Zealand dollar looking very rough in this spot across the board. And of course the USD showing some strength here on the CAD. Oh, you can see my screen. I have some sneaky dollar longs on, dollar versus Swissy longs. I entered these earlier in the week when we started to bottom here. Got my stop just on the other side of this area here. Essentially right below this formation. If we came back down here, I'd want to be out of this long. It could happen. But I think the dollar looks so strong. This is, yeah. I may add to it a little later today. We're getting a continuation long signal here. Hello. Dollar versus the rand. This looks like it's consolidating at a low. It's not really showing us strength yet, but I would rather be long. USD versus the yen. I mean, come on. This is a beautiful long opportunity versus the yen. So we break out of a 4-year downtrend. 6-year downtrend. Consolidate, and then we begin to move upwards. I think we're going to move fast here. The dollar versus yen. Maybe we should just expect weakness out of the end. Let's look at the Jixie. Oh.
Yeah.
This is actually basically the inverse of the chart we just looked at. Now that I'm looking at this. Does that look familiar to you?
Yep.
Clearly, the dollar is most of composes the majority of the trading pairs that the yen trades against. Hey guys, I think that's really all I see here on Forex that's super notable, and that's that the British pound looks very weak and the dollar looks very strong, and then everything else they're doing things. But those are the big obvious plays here: shorting the pound and longing the dollar, and maybe shorting the pound versus the dollar. Although you may be a little late to that trade. We'll see. I think I'm done, guys.
All right. Well, indeed, I did enjoy a quick jaunt through the FX markets. Thank you, Alex, for that one. It's a good opportunity, good time actually in the markets to get a feel for where certain currencies are going. British pound among them. All right, I got that in the bag.
Being long the dollar is mathematically equivalent to being short the markets. Because we've seen that every day, they're inverse correlation.
Yes, certainly. That is the case. All right. Well, it's about quarter after. We can begin to wind the show down. This is, of course, where I shout out the premium offerings available at premium.crackingcryptocurrency.com. Find all our education material like the Pathways to Profit Scores, proprietary indicator suite, and, so much more, including, Wednesday community mentorship sessions, which you're eligible for if you enroll in one of our premium plans. Do check out the details at premium.crackingcryptocurrency.com. But we don't have a lot more to add to that. I think we got to head toward the wrap. Thank you to all the comments, everybody. And we'll be back tomorrow for the Wednesday installment in the Breaking Bitcoin Market Update. Final words to our analysts.
Be short, trade safely. We've been saying this forever.
Yeah, it's not a great place to try and do some knife catching. Just let the market tell you what's happening, because if we're not going down, then it's not super obvious, let me tell you.
Yeah, I would be real shocked if we just reverse from here. I think that would look very weird.
Looking hella droopy this Tuesday as we sign off. We'll see where we land by this time tomorrow. Peace out, guys. See you in the Discord.
See you tomorrow. Goodbye.
Bye.